I used to believe that every class needed its own lesson plan, style, and structure. That mindset nearly burned me out. If you've ever felt like because you're teaching multiple preps, you're essentially doing the job of 3 or more different teachers, this might be the mistake that's keeping you stuck. We're going to start off by talking about invisible work. So, the work that no one sees but still has to get done. So while you do need to lesson plan, while you do need to grade, while you do need to do those things, there's other things that tend to get in your way. Classroom management issues, emails, any sort of like answering questions that maybe are coming to you that are not related at all to your content. Those are all things that would be defined as invisible work. Those are the tasks that you need to do. Now, also, if you are in a different sort of classroom like I was, where you had a lab, well, now you have additional things to worry about. You've got the cleaning, the setup, the ordering, the making sure that you have everything you need and that it's functioning properly. You are the tech person. You are the person who is going to fix everything. And that is all beyond the job of you being a teacher. But all of those things are necessary and essential in order to keep your classroom running. So these things aren't inherently bad, but they become draining when they're constant and unacknowledged. If you've ever felt like teaching comes with 100 different jobs that no one sees, hit the like so we can remind each other that we're not crazy. So with the invisible load, we also have the cognitive and the emotional load. The switching between tasks, the answering a million questions, the switching between different content areas, switching up our space, and then the emotions of ourselves, our colleagues, and our students. And that's all we're dealing with at the school. There's a bunch of other things that you're dealing with at home. As a parent as well, you're going to be dealing with all of those other things from your children, from your spouse, from your partner, from anyone outside of your job. Being on all the time, keeping a smile even when you don't feel like it or when you're drowning is also taxing. Then, if you teach 3 or more preps, this multiplies. And when you have this excessive invisible work, you're going to have some consequences to it. Burnout, constant multitasking, frustration because no one sees it and acknowledges it, decreased bandwidth for high-impact teaching tasks, and guilt that you can't do it all. So you might be wondering, okay, how do I make the invisible visible? And should I even do that? So first I want you to do is take a quick inventory of where your time is going. Now, this doesn't have to be hard. This can be as simple as just thinking about yesterday or even earlier in the week and just recalling what did you do during the day, just in chunks, just in blocks. Then I want you to look at that list and ask yourself, do these things even need to be done at all? Could it be done later? Could someone else do it? And I have 3 questions that I'd like to ask myself all the time. Do I do this regularly? Does it affect teaching and learning? And do I have to be the one to do it? Now, depending on where that task falls, can show me and you maybe what to focus on from here on out. So here are some examples of some small shifts that you might be able to make, some small, simple systems that can help you with planning for multiple preps and maybe just move things slightly around. So the first thing is plan for next week on Thursday. Don't leave it until the weekend. Plan it earlier in the week so that at least Monday is planned and you don't have to have the Sunday scaries. My other favorite thing was to use visual cues. Use things on the whiteboard or the wall or something that can cue students of what the tasks are. So maybe it is the basic outline and procedure that you do every single day in every single class, and it's already mapped out. So maybe you have a bell ringer or a warm-up where you always have a question on the board, so you have a place for that. I had a computer lab with laptops or Chromebooks. Lots of us have Chromebooks now. You can have a picture on the whiteboard that you either cross off or perhaps you flip it over. Do they need their Chromebooks? They can see the icon of a Chromebook. If they're not doing that, it's flipped over. Maybe you can create a checklist of how to reset the classroom from one class to another. Now, if you have fourth period is typically a lab class is set up a certain way, but third period isn't, take some time at the end of class, have your students help you get ready for that next class period while they're still in third period. So part of their cleanup routine is to actually reset the room for the next class period and utilize those warm-ups and those bell ringers as a time to allow you additional time to breathe, reset, and get ready mentally and physically for the next class period. If you want a simple system on how to reset your planning time and take 10 minutes back, grab my free planning reset toolkit in the description. And if you're nodding along like, yep, that's me, then you're going to love what we're talking about next. How to create repeatable systems that actually work for you, especially when you've got more than one prep. Click the next video and let's build something together.